You wake up and within seconds, your chest is tight. Your mind is already racing. Anxiety floods your body before you've even opened your eyes. You haven't checked your phone. You haven't thought about your day yet, but your body is already bracing. And you might not even notice it because to you, this is just normal. Here's what nobody's told you. Your morning anxiety isn't random. It's not just a chemical imbalance. Your nervous system is anticipating the energetic cost of your day, and it's trying to protect you by making you stop. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why your anxiety spikes every morning and what your body is actually trying to tell you, and what needs to change at the root cause level, not just symptom management. You wake up anxious, not gradually, immediately. Your heart is racing, your mind is spinning, your chest feels tight. You haven't even gotten out of bed and you're already exhausted by the day ahead. You've tried morning meditation, breathing exercises, even medication, and the anxiety is still there, waiting for you every single moment. I'm Dr. Oscar Perez, the Soul Recovery Specialist. I work specifically with transformational healers, empathic leaders, and entrepreneurs who wake up with anxiety. And I can tell you, morning anxiety isn't about your morning routine. It's about what your nervous system has learned to expect from your days and the unsustainable cost of how you're living and working. I'm going to show you the 5 reasons that your anxiety spikes every morning and what your body is actually trying to communicate. Morning anxiety isn't about what's happening right now. It's about what your nervous system expects will happen. Your body has learned today equals giving more than I have, holding more than I can carry, depleting without restoration. So your nervous system activates anxiety as a warning. It says to you, we don't have the resources for this. This is anticipatory stress. It's your body trying to stop you from entering another depleting day. The anxiety is actually protective, not pathological. Here's what your morning anxiety is actually saying. We can't afford another day like this. Every empathic healer and leader that I've worked with that has this morning anxiety tells me the same thing. They say, I wake up dreading my day before I can even remember what's on my schedule. That is because their nervous system has pattern matched. Waking up equals beginning another cycle of energetic depletion. The anxiety isn't irrational. It's their body refusing to go quietly into another unsustainable day. Imagine that you have to run a marathon every single day. At first, you wake up ready. But after months of this, no rest, no recovery, your body starts protesting. You wake up and immediately your muscles ache, your energy drops, and anxiety floods in. That's not anxiety disorder. That's your body saying, I can't keep doing this. Your morning anxiety is the same. Your system anticipating the marathon of emotional labor ahead. Your morning anxiety isn't a disorder. It's your nervous system trying to protect you from another depleting day. But there's also something physiological happening that makes this worse. Chronic stress has dysregulated your cortisol awakening response. So normally, cortisol rises gently in the morning to wake you up. This is called the cortisol awakening response. After years of chronic stress, this system dysregulates. So cortisol spikes too high, too fast. And this creates the physical sensation of anxiety. That racing heart, the tightness in your chest, the rapid thoughts. Your body is flooding with stress hormones the moment you open your eyes. This isn't in your head. It's measurable hormonal dysregulation from sustained stress. Your morning anxiety has a physical cause. Your stress hormones are broken. Empathic healers and leaders with morning anxiety often have labs that show cortisol dysregulation. It's either too high in the morning or a flat response throughout the day. Their HPA axis, or their stress response system, has been overworked for so long that it no longer functions normally. The anxiety isn't psychological. It's physiological dysfunction from years of chronic activation. Your cortisol system is like an alarm clock. Normally, it's a gentle wake-up, quiet beeping that gradually gets louder. But after years of high stress, the alarm is broken. Now, it goes off like a fire alarm the moment you wake, blaring, jarring, flooding your system with panic. That broken alarm is your dysregulated cortisol response. Does your anxiety hit you the moment you wake, before you've even thought about anything? That's cortisol dysregulation, not just psychological anxiety. And here's where your work as a transformational healer or empathic leader makes this even worse. You're waking up to a day of holding others' pain or chaos with no plan for how to hold your own. So, as a healer or a leader, your day means containing others' trauma, grief, anxiety, rage. Your nervous system knows, today I'll hold intensity, absorb activation, give energy, and there will be nobody or nothing to ground mine. This creates an existential question. Who's there to support you? Morning anxiety is your system's protest against the asymmetry. You're anxious because your body knows that you're going to give without receiving. You're going to deplete without restoration. You're not anxious about your day. You're anxious about giving all day with nowhere to put your pain or overwhelm in a way that can support you. When I ask these high-performing healers and empathic leaders who struggle with morning anxiety, who hold space for you, they go silent. They spend all day holding space for others, but they have no container for themselves. Their morning anxiety is their nervous system screaming, saying, we can't hold everyone else's pain and chaos with nobody or nothing to support ours. Imagine being told that you have to carry heavy rocks up a mountain all day long, but you're already carrying your own backpack that's too heavy. Your body protests before you even start. I'm already overloaded, it says. I can't take on more weight. That's morning anxiety for high-performing healers and for empathic leaders. It's your system knowing that you'll spend the day carrying others' emotional weight when you're already depleted. Does your anxiety increase when you think about your client schedule? Do you feel dread about holding space for others' pain when you're already full? Is there anyone in your life who consistently helps you to process your stress, anxiety, or pain? If no to that last question, your morning anxiety is about relational asymmetry. It's about giving without receiving. Now, here's the pattern that makes healing this so difficult. If this is making your morning anxiety finally make sense, subscribe for more on nervous system recovery for empathic leaders and transformational healers. Sign up for a soul recovery consultation in the description. You've trained yourself to override the anxiety instead of listening to it. Your morning anxiety is a message. It's saying to you, this isn't sustainable. Something has to change. But you've learned to override it. Coffee, meditation, pushing through. I'll just get started and it'll pass, is what you say to yourself. And this teaches your nervous system that its warnings are ignored. So the anxiety gets louder, more persistent, trying harder to be heard. But the more you override it, the worse it gets, because you're not addressing what it's trying to tell you. Your anxiety is getting worse because you keep ignoring what it's trying to say to you. Every high-performing healer, founder, or empathic leader with chronic morning anxiety has a history of overriding their body's signals. They meditate through the anxiety, caffeinate through it, and convince themselves. They say, once I start working, I'll feel better. But the anxiety keeps returning and escalating because the root cause, the unsustainable practice structure, it hasn't changed. Your morning anxiety is like a check engine light in your car. You can put a piece of tape over it so you don't have to see it. You can tell yourself the car is still running, so it's fine, but the underlying problem is still there, and it's getting worse. Eventually, the car breaks down completely. Your body is the same. The anxiety is the warning light. Covering it up doesn't fix the engine. Ask yourself honestly, What is my morning anxiety trying to tell me about my life and about my work? Write down the first answer that comes before your mind edits it with shoulds. So, what actually resolves morning anxiety at the root cause level? Here is what changes everything. Morning anxiety won't resolve until you change the structure of your days. Your morning anxiety will persist as long as your days remain unsustainable. The solution isn't waking up earlier or taking on some biohacker's morning routine. It's actually restructuring how you work and how you live. This means taking on fewer clients, more rest, built-in restoration, reciprocal support. It also means learning how to say no, protecting your energy, letting go of what depletes you. Morning anxiety is your nervous system's veto power. It's calling you to redesign your life. You can't meditate your way out of an unsustainable life structure. The healers and empathic leaders that I work with that have a morning routine that creates anxiety for them know that they can't resolve it by just changing that routine. They do it by radically changing their work structure, by seeing fewer clients, by charging more, by building in rest, and by getting the support they need. Once this is put into place, the nervous system stops protesting in the morning. So you have to stop trying to fix morning anxiety with meditation, breathing, or positive thinking. You have to stop overriding the anxiety with caffeine or willpower just to push through. And you have to stop adding more self-care while keeping an unsustainable structure in your day and in your life. You have to start using this morning anxiety as data and asking yourself, what needs to change about the way you're living? You need to use it to restructure how you prioritize rest and restoration. You need to start learning how to cancel the things that are not reciprocating equally. Here's a morning reset practice that honors your nervous system's message. Instead of overriding morning anxiety, this practice uses it as information to restructure your day before it begins. It combines nervous system regulation through grounding, which reduces the cortisol spike, honest assessment, which is listening to your anxiety's message, and structural adjustment, which is actually changing your day based on your capacity. This works because grounding brings you to presence and immediately reduces cortisol activation. Assessment reveals what your anxiety is protecting you from, and structural adjustment proves to your nervous system that you're actually listening. Over time, your system learns. My warnings are heard. I don't have to scream anymore. This reduces anxiety intensity because you're addressing root causes, not just symptoms. Morning anxiety is like a child tugging on your sleeve saying, "This is too much. Please slow down." You can ignore the child, distract them, tell them to be quiet, but they'll keep pulling harder and harder until you listen. The moment you stop, kneel down, and say, "I hear you. What do you need?" the tugging stops. They just needed to be heard. Your nervous system is the same. So starting tomorrow morning, I want you to practice this anxiety honoring reset. So 15 to 20 minutes before you start your day, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to ground that cortisol spike. As soon as you wake up with anxiety, don't get up immediately. Place both hands on your belly, breathe in for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 6, and hold for a count of 6. This physiologically reduces cortisol and activates your parasympathetic nervous system. Say to yourself, "I'm safe right now. Right now, in this moment, I'm okay." Then listen to the message. Sit up, place your feet flat on the ground, and ask your anxiety, "What are you trying to protect me from today?" Write down the first honest answer before editing it with shoulds. Common answers are too many clients, no time for me, I'm already depleted, I'll give more than I have. And acknowledge it. Say, "This is real. I hear you." Based on what your anxiety revealed, make one actual change today. Cancel or reschedule one session if you're already depleted. Block 30 minutes midday for restoration that are non-negotiable. Say no to one request or obligation. Ask for support instead of trying to handle everything alone. Reduce your to-do list by 30%. Then place your hand on your heart and say out loud, "I heard you. I'm making space." I'm protecting us today. Take 3 more deep breaths and notice whether or not the anxiety reduced slightly. That's your nervous system telling you that it was heard. Actually follow through with this adjustment. If you promise your nervous system you'll make space and then don't, the anxiety will escalate. This works because the grounding helps to interrupt the cortisol spike physiologically. Listening treats your anxiety as information, not disorder. And the structural adjustment proves that you're actually responding to the message, which means that instead of abandoning yourself, you're prioritizing yourself. All of this helps to regulate your nervous system. So the anxiety starts to adjust on its own. Track this for 2 weeks. Does the anxiety decrease when you're actually adjusting your day? Your morning anxiety isn't trying to ruin your day. It's trying to save your life. It is your nervous system's last line of defense against an unsustainable way of working and living. Stop overriding it. Start listening to it. The anxiety will quiet when it knows that you're finally hearing what it's been screaming at you for years. This pace, this giving, this depletion, it has to change. Subscribe for more on understanding your body's signals and building sustainable healing practices. And if you need support in restructuring your work to resolve morning anxiety at the root cause, check the link in the description for a soul recovery consultation. We'll help you get much deeper into both the physiological, the emotional, and the energetic aspects of this. Your anxiety is trying to protect you. It's time to listen to it.